mechanical properties of solids. So before starting this session, I have to make sure that everyone knows the basics properly. So we all know about what? Intermolecular force. Correct? So we know in solids, since we are only dealing with solids here, I'll just talk only about solids. In solid, what? Atoms and molecules. Correct? Are arranged in such a way that correct, each molecule is acted upon the other molecule, correct, by the forces due to the neighboring molecule. So we all know this particular term, intermolecular force, correct? So if everyone has copied down this thing, let me know. So guys, this intermolecular force will not come for the exam. Okay, but it's important for us to know these things. So that my main aim is what? For you guys to understand each and everything, whatever I am teaching here. So first important property with this, has everyone completed? Let me know, okay? Because only 2 students have told me. Sorry. Not that important. Intermolecular force, we should know what it is, that's all. Perfect. Elasticity. This is the most important topic in today's session. How many of you know what is elasticity? I think everyone will be familiar with the word elastic, right? Correct? So what is elasticity? The property of the body to regain its original configuration. The property of the body to regain its original configuration. So configuration here I mean is what? Length, volume or shape. That also I'll write it down. Length, volume or shape. Correct? When deforming forces are removed. When what forces? Deforming forces. So we all can take the example of a rubber band, correct? And if we apply some stress or what, if we try to elongate, what will happen? The rubber band will stretch. So those things we will be discussing today. So these are the important terms you should know before getting down to the entrance questions. So elasticity, the property of a body to regain its original configuration or length, correct configuration, that is length, volume or shape, when the deforming forces are removed, is called elasticity. There is one more thing which is not there in your book. Elasticity is equal to stress by strain. Done. Okay. Five dones, one more. Yeah. 5 dones I got. Yes. Done. So I'm just going for the next page now. So they may ask in entrance, okay, perfect elastic body examples. So these things only we have to know the examples, that's it. Quartz and phosphor bronze. And phosphor bronze. Perfectly elastic body examples. Then one more important term is plasticity. So we all know what is plastic, correct? So that same thing only I'm going to write here. The inability of a body to return to its, to return, RETURN, okay, return to its original size and shape. Even if I remove the deforming forces. Even on removal of the deforming forces. DEFORMING, deforming forces. Is called plasticity. So once everyone has finished, just send me done. Okay. Coming back. Elasticity is stress by strain. Correct? Now we are going to discuss about stress. So we are actually familiar with the term stress. Then what? Pressure. If there is too much of studies, we'll say stress or pressure. Literally the meaning is same. What is pressure? Pressure we all studied in our lower classes. Correct? What is pressure? Force by area. For example, if I'm stepping my foot on the ground, correct? What I'm doing, I'm applying some force on that unit area. There is only pressure. Correct? So stress and pressure both are same. So what is stress also? Stress is also force per unit area. That's all. Stress is also what? Force per unit area. F by A. That's it. Simple thing. So what is the SI unit? Newton per meter square. Force is Newton. Correct. Area is what? Meter square. So N by M square. So Nm power minus 2. So no need for us to by heart anything. That's all. Then comes an important thing called strain. So for this, I will tell you an example. Okay, let's have a rubber band. And the length of the rubber band is what? 10 centimeter. Correct? So that is my original length. This is my what? Original length of the rubber band is what? 10 centimeter. Now, what I can do is I can stretch the rubber band. Correct? I can stretch this rubber band up to 15 centimeter. Correct? 15 centimeters. So that is my new length. New length is what? 15 centimeter. So guys, my question to each and every one of you here, what is the change in length? Everyone. Anyone having a different answer other than 5? So what is change in length? Change in length is meaning what? New length minus original length, right? New length minus. So guys, do not worry about this. Just listen here. New length minus original length. So what is that? 15 minus 10. Correct? So for that, I'm just gonna shift it to the next page, or I'll rub these things. I'll rub this thing and I'll write it here. So what is my change in length? I'll write it here. Change in length is 15 minus 10, that is 5 centimeter. So now I'm going to explain what is strain. So this strain is nothing but change in length to the original length. I'll write on next page. That will be much more clearer. Strain is equal to change in length to the original length. So change in length can be represented by what? Delta L. Original L, L. So these things I have to put in a box. So guys, this currently I told you the example of rubber band here so that you will be easily able to remember these things. But the actual example for this is what we can tell. What is it? Spring. We can tell a spring. So what we can do is, so rubber band or spring or whatever it is. For example, I'll just take you an example for this. Later on you can copy down. See, this is my string length. Okay. 10 centimeter is there. Correct? If I put a block here, correct, and this block is having some weight, fine. So let me around 5 Newton or whatever it is, the weight of this. So obviously it is stretching this thing, right? Spring. So the new length is what? 15 centimeter. So that is something called strain. Correct? So there is again a limit for this. So if I'm able to pull it after this thing also, what will happen? There is a chance that the spring might break or the rubber band it can break. Correct. So why I have explained in terms of rubber band here is correct. It is a, if you take rubber band, it's having a pure elastic property. For example, I can stretch it. Correct. And if I can release it, it will come back to its original 10 centimeter shape only. Correct. But if I am trying to pull it apart, and then see the how much what the strain, for example, currently I'm writing everything here. Correct. So I'm not doing a PPT. So one thing I written here is strains will change in length to original length. Again, I'm putting some strain. So obviously in rubber band also, if I'm putting some strain, correct. So that thing they're going to observe in this. So I don't want to too much complicate in this. The only thing is what is strain? Change in length to the original length. That is a simple formula. But I have to make sure that you guys should understand this thing. So that is the reason I told the rubber band example. So is it clear for everyone now? So if you want me to go to the next page, let me know. The important formula is change the length to the original length. That's it. Okay. Other than that, nothing will come. So all these examples I have told you so that it will be there in memory forever. That's it. If anyone want me to go to the previous page, let me know. Previous page. Okay. So types of stress. First one, normal stress. So the important point here is perpendicular. Fine, this is the important keyword in this. Because in entrance, they can ask us the questions which we are least expecting from. So now I'm going to explain this thing. Correct? So what is normal stress? So it is defined as the restoring force per unit area perpendicular to the surface of the body. That's it. That is my normal stress. Second one is my tangential stress. So one is perpendicular. So what is this? The keyword in this? Parallel. Double line. Correct? The parallel thing. So the definition for this is when the elastic restoring force, or else that is take when the deforming force. Deforming in the sense forming back to its original position. Okay. When the deforming force acts parallel to the surface area, acts parallel to the surface area. This is called what? My tangential stress. So if anyone is there to copy down this thing, let me know. Message me now itself in the chat. I think no one. Done. Okay. Now coming to strain. So strain is of three types. The first one, longitudinal strain. So all of this formula will come, correct? So that is nothing but what? Change in length to the original length. That's it. Change in length to the original length itself. That is equal to delta L by L. That's it. Second one, volumetric strain. Volumetric strain. So that is change in volume to the original volume. So delta V by V. What is V standing for? Volume. Change in volume to the original volume. That's it. The last one, shear strain. This is important and new. It is represented by theta. Correct? So this I will write down in words so that you will remember. The angle tilt. Theta is nothing but the angle, correct? The angle tilt caused in the body due to tangential stress. Okay, so this theta is equal to delta L by L. Delta L by L itself. This I will put in a box and keep. So you can copy down these things. Longitudinal strain, change in length to the original length, delta L by L. Volumetric strain is what delta V by V. That's it. And so on. Okay. So next page I'm just going so that you can copy down. Anyone want me to go to the previous page? Please feel free to tell me. Okay. Yeah. Anyone want me to go to the previous page? Please tell me now also. Delta L by L, that's it. Okay. So the angle tilt causing the body due to the tangential stress. The next one, Hooke's law. Only one thing you have to remember, stress directly proportional to strain. That's it. So what is Hooke's law? Stress directly proportional to strain. That's my Hooke's law. So coming to the shear stress, it is theta. Okay. And Q, see, for example, yeah, theta and Q. Q means heat, charge, something like that. Theta mainly for the angle. This is very important, the Hooke's law. Stress directly proportional to strain. That's it. Just like we have our Ohm's law, right? Voltage directly proportional to current, just like that. Now coming to modulus of elasticity. Okay, so we know what is elasticity. That is nothing but what ratio of stress to strain. Correct. So modulus of elasticity meaning ratio of stress to strain. Ratio of stress to strain within elastic limit. So if you want to know what is this elastic limit, after that particular limit is there, for example, the rubber band, okay, or the spring, which I'm stretching beyond 15 centimeter. Okay, so its maximum elastic limit is 15 centimeter. What will happen after that? If I stretch the rubber band, it will break. Correct? So this is called the modulus of elasticity, which means the ratio of stress by strain or stress to strain within that particular elastic limit. That's my modulus of elasticity. So any doubt till now to anyone? Is there any doubt? Everyone is clear? Simple topics. These are all very simple topics. No need for any stress or strain. Okay. Stress is what force per unit area. Strain change in length to original length. That's what I taught till now. Easy concept. Perfect. So shall I go to the next one? And this they won't ask in the examination. Define modulus of velocity. No. This is you have to know what it is so that I explain to you. But what I'm gonna write next, that will be asked. So types of elasticity. Or I can write types of modulus of elasticity. This they can ask in the examination. The first one, Young's modulus. Okay, so it is represented by Y. Correct? What is elasticity? Stress by strain. Don't forget this particular thing. What is stress? Force per unit area. What is strain? Change in length to the original length. So that is delta L by L. That's all. So what is the formula for this? FL by A delta L. So if you're able to know all the simple terms, we can do it very easily. That's all. First type is done. So if you want to know what is this thing, I can write here one more thing. Y is equal to longitudinal stress. Longitudinal stress to the longitudinal strain. That's it. Entrance examination, they'll ask you this formula. FL by A delta L. That's it. So guys, the spelling for this is YOUNGS. YOUNGS. Young's modulus. That's it. Represented by Y. Yes. So the next type, bulk modulus. So again, what is our bulk modulus here? It is represented by B. It is again longitudinal stress, or else for easy remembrance, I'll write here volume stress. Volume stress or longitudinal stress. To the volume strain. So we have discussed what is volume strain. That is delta V by V. Longitudinal stress, force per unit area. Correct? So if I want, I can write here as, what is force per unit area? Pressure. Pressure by del V by V. This also I can write. And the inverse of bulk modulus is called compressibility. Inverse of bulk modulus, or B, is called compressibility. Just to know the term, that's it. So everything is within the elastic limit, okay? Modulus, meaning within the elastic limit, that's it. I'll write out here. Everything is within the elastic limit, because modulus term or moduli term comes means it should be within the elastic limit. So guys, if you want to know what is inverse meaning, so I can just type reciprocal. Okay, this is again one of the doubts. Reciprocal. So reciprocal of the bulk modulus is called compressibility. So that is meant by inverse. 1 by something. So one more thing, why I wrote here the longitudinal stress instead of volume stress is nothing but the formula remains same. Okay, the stress formula is same for each and everything. If you take tangential stress, volume stress, or longitudinal stress, the formula is what? F by A, doesn't change. Correct? So since you are learning for the first time, and we have to remember this for 2 years from now. Okay, so it's important that we stick to these things, because in entrance thing, no one will ask you the formulas. They will ask the question like bulk modulus. So we have to just remember the formula and do on, that's it. Okay, so yeah. Clear? So in Young's modulus, it is what? Longitudinal stress to the longitudinal strain. So everything, if you ask me, it is stress by strain only. Okay, everything is stress by strain only. One more type is there. With that, you will be clear. The last type, shear modulus. Okay, so this is given by what? Tangential stress to the tangential strain. So again, the stress formula is same. And what is my tangential strain? That is theta. So this is again force by area, and this is what? Theta. That's it. So F by A theta. Is my voice clear to everyone? Is my voice clear? Yeah. Okay. So one of the doubt, okay, the only reason I have written here, okay, so I told you while I'm writing this is nothing but what? The bulk modulus thing, the formula is same. So for my focus, this is actually what? Volume stress to volume strain only. But why I written here longitudinal stress is nothing but so that you will remember this formula. Okay, that's it. So for me, in the entrance point of view, the formula is the most important thing. So that is the reason I even wrote here pressure. F by is nothing but what? P. Clear? Okay. So guys, one more thing is we can always say that tangential stress to the shear strain also we can tell, okay. But end of the day, because what is shear strain? Shear strain is what? Theta. Correct? Shear strain is theta. Correct. So whichever thing, see, this is for us to remember. The main thing is this won't be asked in the definition point of view in the entrance that what define bulk modulus or something. No. For us, the main thing is what? F by A theta. And what is my theta here? It can be told shear strain also. But to get the flow, then only I told you what? Tangential stress to the tangential strain. Or else I can write here shear strain too. Because what is my shear strain here? Theta. So is it clear for everyone now? How many of you are hearing the modulus for the first time here? Modulus term for the first time. Okay, so I think first time. I think everyone, I think so then. Okay. Okay. So only one of my students has heard it before in vectors. Good. So everyone has copied down this thing, or I had to go before this one? Done. Perfect. The last one, Poisson's ratio. Very important for the entrance exam point of view. So it is given by sigma. Lateral strain to the longitudinal strain. So there is no stress in this. So lateral strain, this is longitudinal strain. The down one is longitudinal strain. Longitudinal. There is delta L by L, and lateral strain is represented as what? Delta D by D. So D stands for the diameter. Correct? So change in diameter to the original diameter, that is lateral strain. What is longitudinal strain? Change in length to the original length. So ratio of these things is what? My Poisson's ratio. And I'll put a negative sign before this. Minus. That's all. So the type of question that they can ask you in entrance is, what is the value of this sigma, or what is the Poisson's ratio? What is the sigma called? Poisson's ratio. Correct? Or when the sigma value will become 0.5. So when the body is perfectly incompressible, my sigma value become as what? 0.5. So what you have to note down from this is, whenever you find a box or something in your NCERT textbook, or whichever you feel it is not important, that will be important. So it means each and every word is important for the entrance point of view. So any doubt for anyone till this? Till this, any doubt for anyone? Everyone should answer with this. So those who have doubts can stay back, others can leave the session.